trouble, ruin, ask Alma. Evil, do it, ask Alma. Time for viewing, ask Alma. Are you down, feeling low? Are trials weighing heavy on your mind? I know a place we can go. Sit back and unwind. Grab a seat, put up your feet, and we'll ask Alma. Ask her anything. She has a certain flair for being tough, but always fair. So if you need someone who cares, ask Alma. Problems big or small, she has the answers to them all. So drop your questions, have them solved by Alma. You can ask her anything. Trouble, ruin, ask Alma. Evil, do it, ask Alma. Time for viewing, ask Alma.
Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing? Hi, it's Courtney. Tonight I'm going to be guest hosting. It was kind of a last minute thing. I'm like not even prepared. Even when I know that I'm guest hosting, though, I'm not prepared. And me and Auntie Alma were talking about this one time. Like, as many times as you may host a show, you kind of feel like as soon as the music stops and you're on, you're like, you're never prepared. Hey, DeSheryl, how you doing? Everybody that's here, come on and say hi to me. Yeah, it's like this little nervous energy. You think, okay, I'm going to say this, I'm going to do that. And then as soon as you're live, you're just frozen for a moment. So I just want to be honest. I'm a little frozen. I'm like, but I guess, you know what I wanted to share? Recently, I've started watching like all my shows again. You know, there was a like long period of time where I really wasn't watching a lot of TV, wasn't watching news. Hey, Richard, how are you? I wasn't on social. I'm still really not on social media. Like I'm on TikTok, but I only watch the things on TikTok. I don't post anything. So I'm kind of catching up on things. And one of my guilty pleasures, and I may have spoken about this on a previous show, is things about the royal family, right? So The Crown came back. I might be the only one here who watches The Crown, but it's my show. You know, I think this is the last season of The Crown. So they're at a point where they're talking about Princess Diana. Hello, Danielle. And I don't know. I have my opinions about that, how they, reenacted her death and all of that kind of stuff. And then I know I'm late to the party on this. I watched the first season of Queen Charlotte. I don't even know when that came out. I don't know if the first season just ended. That's how out of the loop I am, y'all. But anyway, I am like super addicted to period pieces, whether it's film, books, or whatever. I just love the whole lords and ladies and the intrigue and the scandal. Like that is my guilty pleasure. So first I want to ask, do you guys have a guilty pleasure? Like something that you're super duper into that if people didn't really know you, they would be surprised to know that this is the thing that you're into. I think my mom makes fun of me about the fact that I'm into things about the royal family. I know that it's weird. I'm a Black woman and I want to know things about the royal family, but it's just interesting to me. It's like so intriguing. So when the Queen passed away, my mom was like, "Are you okay? Your people's died." And I'm like, "Really, Mom?" She was like 1,000 years old. But anyway, I want to bring on the rest of the panel and I want to ask them, are you guys like, what's your guilty pleasure? What are you into that probably no one would think? Dee Dee.
Hey, well, first of all, I'm not going to tell you my guilty pleasure. Let's take that off the table. But
it could be a show. It doesn't have to be something that's like
TV. Okay, that's
different. TV. It could be something safe.
I was listening to you. I started watching Bridgerton during COVID and got super hooked on that. So when the Queen Charlotte came in, I didn't leave the house for like 3 or 4 days. I was stuck to that. I had not watched The Crown, but I saw a clip of them with the Rose Wall of Diana. And I thought, oh, I need to watch that. I didn't realize there was 6 seasons. I don't know if I have time for 6 seasons right now, so I may like put that on hold
I've been watching
until.
from the beginning.
And I want to watch it from the beginning. But the Charlotte I could not turn away from it.
It was so. I actually think Queen Charlotte is better than Bridgerton. That's just my opinion.
I think it's just for me. It was just an extension. Like I think I needed Bridgerton to understand Queen Charlotte.
Yeah.
But I was mesmerized. I could not stop watching that. My TV guilty pleasure right now is Black Cake.
What is that about?
Oh, you got to watch it. You have to watch it. The very short explanation is it's about a woman who dies and leaves her life story on a USB for her kids.
Okay.
And everything they know about her is wrong. Everything they know about her entire life is wrong. So this USB drive is sharing with them the real mom, the real person. And I usually wait until the whole series is out to watch it so I could go ahead and watch the whole series. And I didn't realize that this one was going to stop and almost threw something at my television. They were like, come back next week I was like, no. I need to watch it right now.
Yeah, they're starting to do that a lot with shows. Like instead of just dropping the full season, it's like,
yes,
because they're not done with The Crown yet. I have to wait until December. I'm like,
yeah, I don't like that. That's disturbing.
I don't like that.
But Black Cake is worth starting it because there's 5. Have you seen it, Patrice?
I started it, and then when I got through the first episode, I'm like, I can't put myself through that to wait every week for another episode. So I'm like, I'll wait for all of them to drop.
5 on now, so you can watch 5. I think 6 is coming up on tomorrow.
What streaming service is it on?
Hulu.
Oh, I didn't cancel my Hulu.
I'll take care of you.
Okay.
You have to watch it. It's produced, like Danielle's reminding me, it's produced by Oprah. It was a book, and she's from the Caribbean. Like it is, you have to watch it. It's really good.
Okay. What about you, Patricia? You have like a guilty pleasure. It doesn't have to be a show, but it can be.
I'll keep it on theme with the show. So everything that you guys have said so far is pretty on par. I love The Crown. I liked season 1 of Bridgerton. Didn't really like season 2 too much.
I didn't get into season 2.
But I love Queen Charlotte.
Yeah.
My true guilty pleasure, like TV wise, I would say it used to be trash TV, trash reality. Until I grew up and realized that these garden tools are for the streets and a bad representation for all folks everywhere. So I'm like, I'm done with that. What am I watching now? I don't really, well, besides Abbott Elementary, I don't really watch a lot on TV, but I love Abbott, and I've rewatched those episodes so many times.
I'm looking forward to the now that the strike is over, some of the shows like 9/11, and there's a couple of shows that I really enjoyed watching.
Yeah.
There's a detective show. I can't think of his name, but he kind of reminds me of Monk, but he's new, and it's a really good show as well. I can't call it by name, but
yeah, I really like they did the spinoff of the Rookie, well, I think it's called The Rookie, and it was Niecy Nash's series from that.
Yes, the FBI. She's in the FBI, right?
Okay.
And I really enjoyed that, and I just found out that it got canceled, and that was kind of a disappointment because it was a really decent show.
Yeah.
But then Tyler Perry stuff kind of gets me hooked every once in a while.
Death in Paradise, or is that just your show that you like? I guess it's not the name of the show. That's your guilty pleasure. Okay.
But yeah, Sisters on BET, they had me hooked for a while. And
I had to stop watching that. I had to stop watching that because when I started watching that, I was single and I was like, you know what? every episode, y'all, I ain't gonna say they garden tool. Well, Andy was a little bit of a garden tool to me.
Andy is a garden tool and the dumbest lawyer I've ever seen on TV.
Oh wow.
She is the dumbest attorney, and you would be just as dumb to hire her to do anything.
She was getting plowed, okay? Like every episode. I'm like, you know what?
left and right,
I'm
and
like,
down the middle.
Okay,
I
so I
can't
don't need to watch that because I've gotten all the details right
No,
here.
listen, okay, because
The
some of these
summary.
things I was like, what is this? You
And
know what?
a couple of years ago, I was at a hotel in Baltimore. I was going to a conference, and it was on. And seems like every time I turned on the channel, it was the same episode.
It is. It feels like
And I was like,
the
oh,
one
you know
whole
what? I don't
season.
really need to watch this.
One whole season could be one episode because Tyler Perry will drag a topic or
I did binge all the Queen's Men.
That's
For a
another
little
one.
bit.
Nope.
Yeah, and then
couldn't do it.
that
I
fell off.
tried.
When you stop a show or move it or go on hiatus for more than 6 months or something, I usually just forget and move on to something else.
Now, speaking of Tyler Perry, have you guys seen this documentary
about him?
Yes. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it yet, but it's on my radar to watch.
Let me tell you something.
Is it out already?
Yes, it's on Prime.
Okay.
Let me tell you, I'm not against Tyler Perry. I'm just not a big fan of all of his work. Like I was never into Medea. But that documentary, I cried so hard.
Oh, wow.
It was so good because even if you don't necessarily like all of his shows or all of the content, you can't deny like what he's done. You know what I mean? And his story is it's just so heartbreaking. And from if you look at where he came from to where he is now, and I know that's like such a cliche, but I mean, really, what he's accomplished. And I was watching with my mom and we were both like, like we had the tissue.
Oh, ugly cry?
We were crying.
Oh, the ugly crying.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Crying. So it was.
So really, that's not something good. You need to watch like on a work night before you have to get up and go to work.
It's not something that's going to make you cry in the sense of like it's sad. It is.
It's moving.
Parts of it. Yeah, it's very moving. It is kind of heart-wrenching, but it's almost a thing of it's like all the emotions. It tugs at your heart, but it makes you proud. Like it's really good. I wouldn't be surprised if he won something for that, like an Emmy.
He didn't do his own documentary, did he?
Technically, yeah. Like it is. It is, but they tried to make it as well-rounded, I guess, as they could because they did have the people that were on there.
That's how you make money. You produce your own documentary, right? Like, every time I'm gonna make my own money,
right? But
like
they did have the people on there that were like kind of anti-Tyler Perry, like
Well, of course not. Yeah, you wouldn't have that.
Well, no, he did though. He let them be on there. So I
have a quick question before we move on. There's a comedian on Instagram. She has all day been talking about slips. Do you both know what a slip is?
Like the slip you put on your dress?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so you do? Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I know that horrible thing. I used to have to wear that.
I hated it. I hate it now.
That like she posted one thing about how your grandma, but you weren't going to church with your grandma without a slip on, and that it was she referred to it as it's the little bit of Jezebel you wear under your dress while you getting your Jesus on. But how so many people didn't know what a slip was? Is it because we went to church? You didn't want anybody seeing through your dress, so you didn't want to be ogled. But when she commented it early in the day, and she just kept getting more and more comments about it. She kept coming back and doing more clips about it. So I was curious because, like, I'm I think a decade older than both of you. So I wondered if you even knew what a slip was. She said a lot of women now wearing the slip on the outside at the club. They got it on the outside instead of the inside.
But I'm like, are we that far removed? I turned 40 this year, right? Same. I had to wear a slip. Like, somebody that's 30 don't know what a slip is.
That was the impression I was getting.
Wow. It's just a different time. That's all I could really say.
Well, like pantyhose, if you talk to a 20-year-old about wearing pantyhose to anything, they think you're crazy.
Yeah, because I remember that when I was in my 20s, when you work somewhere, especially like I used to work in banking and any kind of corporate job, you had to wear pantyhose. Like that was if you had a skirt on, if you didn't have any pantyhose on, they would send you to like the drugstore to buy some. I was about to.
There was a shooting at a Walmart last night. At the commissary around 7:30, heading to that Walmart. Changed my mind at the last minute. Went to a different Walmart. Well, thank goodness, Doug.
Thank God there's Doug.
Right. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't hear that today.
No, didn't hear about any of that.
What's unfortunate is we're getting to the
Not
place where
sure.
these kinds of shootings don't even like hit the radar anymore, which is so sad
The
because
the Walmart shooting last year. I'm not sure if you guys know. I know it was like bigger, probably bigger news here, but they covered it in Virginia. That it was right by my job at the time. Like I used to go to that Walmart a lot, so I don't. That's just really crazy.
That's wild.
yeah. Well, I lived through and actually covered and witnessed firsthand the shootings in the DC, Maryland, Virginia areas.
Oh, the sniper shootings.
Yeah, they ask us not to call people from DC say please don't call him the DC sniper because he wasn't from us. So I try to avoid referring to him that way. But yeah, covering it and living it was quite the challenge.
Yeah, that's when I was actually living with my dad at that time. I was just getting out of high school when that happened, so it was the scariest time.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. But I think the producer's like, okay, time for some questions. So we're gonna go ahead and run a disclaimer really quick, and then we'll get into question one.
All materials and information presented on this episode of Ask Alma are for general information and entertainment purposes only. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are those of the host and guests and do not represent the views or opinions of the National Newspaper Publishers Association.
All right. And I do just want to say to Doug Jordan, it really is like I don't want to just skirt over that. It is amazing and wonderful that you are safe. God is good, because you really can never tell what's going to happen. We take things for granted. We think, oh, this is not going to happen where I live. And, it can happen anywhere. So every day above ground
is a good day.
That's right. Yes. So let's go ahead and get into question one.
Dear Alma, my brother-in-law, my husband's brother, had a long-time affair. My sister-in-law, his wife, immediately kicked him out and filed for divorce. They have been married for 23 years, no kids, and I love her dearly. My brother-in-law is still with the other woman, and they've started coming around family events. My soon-to-be ex-sister-in-law and I are very close and continue to maintain our friendship. My husband told me a few weeks ago that I needed to cut her off and accept that this other woman and work on making her feel welcome to the family. I'm torn and totally disagree. I don't think I'm ready to accept this new situation. Do you have any advice for me?
Okay. Give me a minute, because that was just
right. I'm like,
the brother-in-law, the sister-in-law. Okay, so just a quick little recap. This is her brother-in-law. Okay. He cheated on her sister-in-law with a woman, and she was really close to the sister-in-law that was the wife. Okay, so now they're getting a divorce. They don't have any kids or anything like that. She's still close with the soon-to-be ex-wife, and her husband, because this is her husband's brother, right? Is saying that she needs to stop the relationship that she has with the sister-in-law and embrace this other woman, this garden. Let me not call it a garden too.
I mean, it was on the tip of my tongue.
Embrace this other woman, and try to welcome her into the family. And she's kind of feeling torn because she's had this relationship with the sister-in-law. So she's like, negative. What am I supposed to do? So D, go ahead. You just waiting.
Negative. First of all, my husband is not gonna choose my friends. Second of all, she's been my sister-in-law for 20-something years, and I'm gonna cut her for this woman that my brother-in-law brought to the table that wasn't even invited. No. Now I'm not gonna bring my sister-in-law around family stuff because I know that could be messy. But maybe me and my sister-in-law go on vacations together, but I'm not cutting her off. Get out of here. No, that's not happening. No, zero, negative.
Yeah, I'm not obligated to form no friendship with this new trollop. I mean, that's your bag. That's your woman. That's your bag. That's your headache.
Right.
Me and sister-in-law. She's ex to y'all. She's still my sister-in-law. That's my homie. We still gonna kick it over here, out of y'all's business. Y'all stay out of ours, hubby.
I have a circle of outlaws. all of the sister-in-laws that aren't sister-in-laws anymore are now still my sister-in-laws.
Like, I don't
So,
feel you broke up your family doesn't mean that I need to break up with them too. Like, that's our relationship. Those are two separate entities of relationships going on. You broke yours, mine is still intact, and that's, sorry for your brother who's out here with this new woman, and you want me to coexist with this new girl.
And I think it's a little bit different if the brother-in-law had divorced my sister-in-law and then moved on. That might create a different kind of relationship. But if we're already we're like family, and you've now cheated on my sister essentially with this woman, and now I'm supposed to be friends with her too? No, not happening.
No.
Yeah.
Well, this reminds me of the last episode of The Crown.
Right on time.
Watch it, so don't tell me.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like The Crown is like, we already know what's going to happen because it's based on
it's
yeah.
Okay.
So this one part, I don't think this is a spoiler, but after, we know that Prince Charles, now he's with Camilla. Now she's what? Is she the queen? I don't even know if they use
she
title.
is.
Okay, Queen Camilla, whatever. And I don't know how true this is, because of course some of it is fiction, but some of it is based on things that actually happened. Mm-hmm. He had hired a team of people to give her legitimacy, like a team of people to work on her image, to have they had these like different think tanks and meetings about what they could do to grant her some legitimacy. Now in the show, and this might have been fictionalized too, she's like not really with it. She's kind of saying, just give it time. You know what I mean? You're going to have to give the public time. You have to give the family time to try to force this. After we've been together for a while, people will accept it. But, you can't make somebody or make people accept something. It was wrong. Like, I don't understand this whole concept. If I'm having an affair with someone, which will never happen, but if I'm having an affair with somebody and they leave their wife for me, why should I feel like I have the right to have relationships with other family members? What happens to see some things we talk about old school things and we say like, oh, we need to be more progressive and more open to certain things. But there's some old school values that need to stand. Okay, when you was a garden tool, you stayed in a garden tool's place.
You stayed in the garden.
All right. If you was the side, you stayed in the side, okay? You stayed in your little side chick box. Right. Now you want to be somebody's wife and you want to sit at the Thanksgiving table and have everyone be like, hey girl, no, you is a garden tool. You broke up a whole marriage. And you need
she didn't, in all fairness, she didn't break up the marriage. He did.
All right, he broke up the marriage, but you
broke up the marriage.
You had a part to play in it.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But she didn't have vows. He did.
He did.
Yeah. Which is even more reason for me not to be friends with, like, no. The whole play date thing, like the assumption that because you pick someone, I have to be friends with them is ridiculous in itself. Like, okay, now the 4 brothers have wives, so they all have to be friends. Like, no, they don't really have to be friends. It'd be great for the family to be cordial, to, enjoy each other's company, but we don't have to hang out together because you're married to my brother, or we're married to brothers.
Now, the only
thing... Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I didn't mean.
I was going to say, so the expectation that I'm going to be friends with the second wife or second girlfriend or whatever she is, just because you brought her along, is ridiculous.
Yeah. And the only expectation you should have is that I respect her, because now your brother's with her. I don't have to be rude to her. Like, I could think in my head, I don't want this garden tool over to Sunday dinner, but she's here, so I'm not going to say anything. But aside from
if she shows up for dinner, you going to feed her?
I mean, yeah, I'm going to feed her. I'm going to feed her. I'm not going to be like, you can't eat.
You going to make her eat in the kitchen?
No, because at the end of the day, it is his wife. But we're not about to sit here and go shopping together and have, and ma'am, don't be in my face. Just eat your food and go, okay? Right. Don't be here like, hell, I love what you did with, sit down. Just
we're not there yet.
We're not there. You're at dinner, just eat. But yeah, there should be respect. But the expectation that I should have this relationship with somebody who hurt someone that I love,
right,
or took a part in hurting someone that I love, is not fair.
Yeah,
so we agree.
to don't let this be a point of contention in your marriage. That's their mess.
Right.
Why are we even talking about this?
We should be talking about this. Listen, honey, I'm gonna keep my sister-in-law as my friend. As much as I love you, you can't dictate. I'm not cutting her off. That she's been in my life for decades. I'm not cutting her off.
Mm-hmm.
It's not happening.
Yeah. So yeah, we all agree.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
That was easy.
Dear Alma, after 4 years of marriage, my husband left me for another woman. We had our ups and downs, but I never thought that this would happen in our relationship. I thought we were on solid ground. I have gained weight and I'm feeling a bit insecure, but I would have never think that would end my marriage. My husband was traveling for work and met a flight attendant who, in his words, swept him off his feet and they connected instantly. I am broken. When I came home from work the next day, his closet was empty. Yes, she is gorgeous and makes more money than me. Yes, I stalked her and her social media pages. I am totally depressed. I don't seem to have the energy to do anything. I'm grateful I have a job because otherwise I probably wouldn't leave my apartment. Help. I need advice on how to live through a horrible heartbreak.
Okay, so I don't know if I caught the time frame. I thought she said 4 years, but maybe she said 4 months. Did she say 4 years or 4 months?
4 years.
Years, I
Oh
think.
no,
Yeah.
ma'am. No, ma'am. Okay, let me. I thought I heard wrong.
You need to rewind it.
4 years. She was married. Her husband cheated on her with a flight attendant. Because I guess she's saying she gained some weight, and she came home and the closet's empty. His side of the closet, he done took his clothes, he left. She stalked this woman's social media page. She's completely depressed, and she says that she kind of stuck in a rut, I guess a mental rut. And she doesn't know how to get out of this, I guess, mindset, this state that she's in. She's heartbroken. So she wants our advice on that. How could she get past this?
Well, it's not a past thing. It's just, she has to embrace that pain and work through it. That's not, I mean, nobody expects to come home and find their husband gone or their wife gone, for that matter. We've talked on this show lots of times about, sometimes you're so deep in the hole, you don't realize what the sunshine looks like. And one day you find it, and you find, maybe another mate or whatever your life's purpose and dream is, you find it. She won't find it in the first month of, finding an empty closet. But one of my favorite sayings is, sometimes the trash takes itself out.
Amen.
And she will someday want to send her a card to thank her for being in that aisle that day while he was on that flight.
Amen for that. Yeah, she had a couple trigger words in there for me. Like, first of all, if you're looking at someone to kind of see what's going on with them, that's not stalking, baby. That's just doing research. We do plenty of research on the social media streets, and it is all right, baby. Most women are better FBI agents than the FBI themselves. So you got to do your own research, but and at the same time, that's going to hurt you. But don't say things like, she's gorgeous or I've gained weight. That kind of seems like you're comparing yourself to this new situation where it's totally different anyway. You shouldn't compare yourself to something that your husband kind of showed his true colors to. He wasn't the breakup in your marriage wasn't your fault. That's all on your husband. So don't take on that stress. Don't take on that problem. Don't take on that for something that he did to you. And don't compare yourself to this new woman. If you've gained weight, so be it. Go find you a man who loves women who got a little bit of weight on them. They are out there. Believe me. You will find a better man. You will find a better situation. But you got to work on yourself first. You got to, do some heavy praying. Get you a girl circle going. Go out with your friends or something. But kind of get back to you a little bit. Learn how to love on yourself a little bit. And then that happiness is going to get back to you. You just got to give it a little bit of time.
That's pretty much what Sharon said. Girl, fix your crown, get you with some good girlfriends, and go have some fun.
Yep.
Get out of that rut. For
me, this is why I was making sure that I heard the time frame right, because 4 years. Let me tell you, and I'm not judging the heartbreak, because to be married to someone and have that happen, I can imagine that that's devastating. You know what I mean? You're expecting to spend the rest of your life with this person. But the way I look at it is however many years you had with him prior when you were together for, you're giving him that and the 4 years. Because 4 years, I'm just not giving someone 4 years of my mind, my heart, because your heart is still tied to him.
Mm-hmm.
Your mind is still tied to him. He has moved on with his life. Okay. They're not laying up in bed thinking about you. So granted, you want to hold space for somebody's pain and, you know, whatever suffering that they're going through, but you have to get to a place, in my opinion, where you don't want to give this man that much more of your time and your heart. If it's therapy, it sounds like therapy needs to be a part of this equation. Like Sharon said, get you some good girlfriends, have some fun, make goals, set standards, boundaries, and all of those kinds of things. And I'm not a big fan of going on people's social media because I've done it myself in the past. And all it ever does is make you feel worse. Because
Right.
you're going to make those comparisons. And it really
Mm-hmm.
has nothing to do with you. Because in my situation, the person wasn't gorgeous. They were about
Which is even more
heavier than me.
depressing, right?
They
It was
were
like, what?
heavier than me. They didn't look better than me. And I thought to myself, well, what the hell's wrong with me?
And it had nothing to do with you.
It has
Nothing to do with you.
absolutely nothing to do with me or her, the person who's writing in.
Right.
And half the time, it doesn't have anything to do with
Well,
looks,
Danielle
okay?
says it. He didn't just leave because she gained weight. He was already gone.
Right. It doesn't
He would have
usually have to do with
eventually
looks.
left for another
another
reason.
reason.
She was just
Right.
the person at the time that gave him the okay. She either had a space for him to sleep in, a car for him to drive in, a job for her. That something about her invited him to now jump into that space.
And you also don't know what they have going on. Doug said he met her on a plane. He'll move to someone else soon. Maybe it will be the check-in agent at the hotel. But either way, even if that's the case, it doesn't even matter. Like whatever
Right.
he does, what he's doing in his life, what she's doing in her life, you have to get that out of your mind. Think about what you want to do with
Well,
your
I think
life.
we're saying the same thing, and that she just needs to. She can feel the pain. She can go
Right.
ahead and cry. She can't waddle in that. Like you can
Yeah.
get all of that out, and then start on making yourself happy again.
Right. 4 years is
Don't
a
struggle.
long
Get your
time.
groove back.
4 years is a long time to be heartbroken over
Yeah. Oh,
anything.
they were together for. Well, again, she said she thought they were on good ground. She thought everything was okay. Clearly, that was not the case. So she probably feels like she gave him, everything she had, all these. We don't even know they were married for. We don't know how many years.
Oh, they were
together
married
before that.
for. Okay, I'm thinking
Yeah.
that they've been separated for 4. That's why I was
No,
like,
no.
oh,
They were
okay.
married,
Married
and
for-
she came home and
Okay.
found the closet empty.
Yeah.
Which would throw you into a tailspin, I'm
Of
sure.
course. Of
So
course.
they probably were together more years than the married years. So she's probably thinking, how do I get those years back? You can't.
You can't. They
But you
gone.
can start.
Mm-mm.
You can start new and start your life over and find what you need to find.
You got to
to
make that choice to
make
do
you
it too.
happy. Yeah.
In order for time to help you get past that, you got to make that conscious decision every single day.
Every
to
single
say,
day.
I'm going to move past this. I'm not going to give this any more of my time, my effort, my energy, any of that. You have to make that choice every single day and not
Every
just
day.
wake up and just cry over this lost relationship. He's not crying about you. Don't waste any more anything on him.
Got to
Right.
get up, shower, dress, move.
One
I'm gonna
foot
make
in
the
front of
choice for you.
other.
Get your ass up and find you. Find
Yeah.
you first.
And just to piggyback off of that, if I could, the choice is not the same as the feelings. So when
Right.
you make the choice to get over it, you're still gonna feel heartbroken. It's still
Right.
you might still cry. You might still, you know what I mean? You might slip up one day and go on to social media. I would say don't do that. But you might do all of those things because those things are a part of, your healing process. But you still, like Patrice is saying, make the choice every single day that I'm going to get past this. I'm going to have a better life. My heart is going to mend. I'm going to heal. Like, tell yourself that in therapy. Therapy.
Right.
Definitely therapy.
I really hope they don't have kids in this situation though.
I think they said they didn't have children. Or was that the first? Was that
The
the first?
one said that they didn't have children, but I don't think she specified on this question
No.
whether or not they had children. So, yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah, it's sad. It's
Prayers
really
up,
sad.
sis. You got this. You'll get through it.
Yeah. And don't compare yourself to this woman. She's a garden tool.
She garden her and the lady from the first question, they best friends.
She's an international garden tool, not all around taking people's husbands.
Well, you know,
Right.
okay.
Underground.
I gotta come in and gotta do. Well, she's an airline attendant on a plane. She doesn't know any of his history, and I'm sure if he's prepared to meet her on a plane, then he was not forthcoming about his life. So I bet you he didn't say, "Oh, I got a wife at home. She's gained a little bit of weight. I'm not attracted to her anymore. Can I come home with you?" We know that didn't happen. So
what happened to just serving people coffee and giving them little peanuts? You know, smiling, telling them to have a nice
something
else. She gave him something else.
Peanuts. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we meet people at our jobs. That's not unrealistic. He's probably handsome and charming and all of that. She serves, 100 people a day. She served him and thought, oh yeah, he might be somebody that I'd like to get to know. I'm sure if he said, I got a wife at home, she might have said, no, we're not doing that.
She served him all right.
Yeah, she did. But he sounds like a sleazeball anyway, because you didn't even try to work on your marriage at all. You just let her go to work and just came and got all your stuff. Like, be a man. If you want to leave your wife, talk to her.
She got him them airline tickets. That's how he was able to move all that stuff out.
It screams, I can't even say the words that I'm thinking, that he snuck into the house while she was at work and, took his things. That screams who he is. So
yeah,
good riddance.
He seems like the type that probably, and this is no way trying to make her like I'm shaming her or anything, but there are probably some red flags along them 4 years that she just chose to ignore. I mean, and the best of us, we do that from time to time, but I'm pretty sure there were more alarming red flags that she may have missed. And don't know this to her. Don't take that on yourself either. Just again, let that man go. He's not worth your time.
What airline did she work for?
Spirit. She sounds like a Spirit.
Not gonna name airlines on here. People calling us.
Well, just email us and tell us. I would have wrote to corporate if it was me.
I need to speak to your manager.
That's not in the spirit. Wait, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me because that's not in the spirit of corporate.
My husband took a flight and went home with one of your attendants, and then I'm just home alone. Can you fix this?
His name was so and so. Could you see if she bought his airline ticket and ruined my life?
Would you like to speak to a representative? Representative.
Just start banging 0 on the phone until you get a real person.
Tracy said he is a sleazeball. He made a decision to get involved with this woman. Let's not forget his promises to his wife. We're not. Of course, we're not. But I also think that, and yes, he is the one who has the responsibility to his wife. He's the one who made the vows. But I also don't always feel like women should just be like, well, it was just, she didn't have any responsibility. Man, you have some responsibility. If you know that this person is married, then you share some of it.
And that's where we are. It's like, I'm certain she may have learned a little later, and quite frankly, if he's willing to go to these lengths, he probably told her that his wife was dead. She was in a nursing home, like she was crazy as all get out. Like she, I'm sure
she was crazy. It's never what did you do to make her crazy though.
Exactly. I'm sure he had a story for her, so she eventually probably found out that he left a wife at home. But initially, and that would be somebody walked up on my job and was handsome and charming and all that, and we don't know how old she was, but that kind of attention and attraction, you get all hot and bothered, and it's all fun and games until week 3, when first of all, I would be wary of any man that could move into my house overnight, because you didn't have a lease, you didn't have a roommate, you didn't have like somebody you had to say goodbye to. That would already be suspect to me. That you could, bring all of your stuff to my house. Like we meet on Tuesday, on Thursday, you can move in. Like something's wrong with that already.
Yeah,
so that would be.
I just don't think people ask the right questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need proof. You say your wife is dead. Show me the death certificate.
I'm sure you we're not even getting into because we don't ask when we meet people. Do you say, "Are you married?" Like maybe at this age, but we wouldn't necessarily. So I'm sure she didn't ask that. She assumed that because he was approaching her, that he was available. So I'm sure she did not say, "Do you have a wife at home? Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have any of these things? Like, do you live with your mama?" Like, none of that stuff came
Especially
up
if he
in
was
that
flying
first.
first class. Well,
Or
I
if he
don't think
was
Spirit has first class,
cute and looked like he had something going on. And maybe that's how she meets all of her dates.
Okay, we done veered off. We're not even talking about the person who wrote the question. Don't even listen to us. Just get some therapy and move on. We
just want her. We want her to find herself and then find someone who will love her and care for her and not treat her this way.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Okay. Right, Patrice?
Right. I got your back, sis. Just let us know the airline.
Mm-hmm. Let us know. You could move on, but we got you. All right, let's move on to question 3.
Dear Alma, I'm 25 and getting ready to marry a wonderfully fantastic man. We're totally compatible and get along in every way. Our sex life is amazing and I really love him. However, I recently met a new man to whom I am unbelievably attracted to, but just physically. I know deep down inside that I want to be with my fiancé forever. My question to you is, would it be so wrong to have sex with my new friend just one time? So far, we've only gone to lunch and out for drinks. I see this as my last chance to hook up before I say I do.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
This is the flight attendant.
Here we go now. Here we go. Another song.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So she met or is with this wonderful man who she's already having this great sex with. Okay, they're engaged. Let me stop. Okay, okay, bring it in.
You tapping into it, Courtney. Go for it. Go for it.
No. I'm trying to do it without the judgment. Okay, so she's engaged to a wonderful man, and she has a very nice, wonderful, fruitful sex life with him. Okay, she's saying that, you know, they're compatible in every way. She's very happy, looking forward to being married to him. But there's this other person that she is very physically attracted to, but it's just physical. Okay. She wants to know, would it be so wrong if she was to just have sex one time with this other person that she's physically attracted to before she gets married?
Yes, don't
He
do
says
it.
that kind of attraction's like Lay's potato chips. You can't eat just one.
You know, daggone well, you ain't gonna do it just one time. You already lusting after this man.
But the reality is, she doesn't know that the sex is going to be good. She just knows that she has a physical attraction to him. That's your body talking. Like, that ain't your brain. So you need to know.
Sounds greedy to me. You already got good sex. You don't pass it up for most sex that we don't even know
it up for
level
mediocre sex.
Right. Just because.
And perhaps the end of her engagement.
Your fiance's been vetted for. We know him. We don't know the strange.
We don't do this stranger. And if she feels this way, she really shouldn't be trying to get to the altar. She should be sowing her wild oats and having all of that happen before she gets married. She shouldn't be looking at wedding gowns when she's thinking about doing some dude that, you know, delivers her Chipotle. No.
Yeah, no.
Don't get if you're attracted to someone else you're not married. Oh, I think she don't get married. No, but is it okay to have sex twice? Once, twice. What is the difference? Is she a flight attendant?
That's her.
Asta says she's gonna F around and find out. Too many diseases out there. People treat marriage like like it's going on vacation or like
or like a death sentence. Like, I need to do all this stuff before. You should be wanting to do all of that stuff with your mate. And if you don't, you should not be thinking about getting married.
I just don't understand. Like, she's 25. So I'm not going to say that because she's 25, she's not ready to get married, because there are people who get married young and they're mature enough. Married. Yeah, they stay married. They're mature enough to handle, what it actually means to marry somebody. If you are sitting out here about to get married and you're thinking, well, can I just have sex with this one person? You're not ready to be married.
Right.
Period. Like, if you do it 10 years from now and if you're still thinking like that 10 years from now, you're not ready to be married. Because marriage means that you're with this one person forever. Like, that's what that means. And it's not for everybody. It's not something that you have to check off on a list. If that's not something you want to do, if you want to
don't do it.
Yeah, I don't want to say if you want to be a gardener too, because that's not nice to say. But if you want to be out here having different experiences, then have those experiences and leave people alone. Like, I don't.
And then get married or not.
Or not. Like, it's not for everyone. Sharon said her brain just developed.
At 25, she's just getting all the development together, and now all of a sudden
Because this one man is not going to be the only one. If she has that mindset with this one person, it's going to be plenty more who's going to be barking up her tree, making her feel the exact same thing. So go ahead and get your garden tool phase out the way. Let your fiance go. Let him live his life. Let him find somebody who wants him and not nobody else. And then you figure out what it is that you really want, because it doesn't seem like you know what you want yet. Not completely.
Right.
You just kind of just want to, not marriage on layaway. But it's kind of like
marriage on layaway until they're ready to be a responsible partner.
It's like, and we just talked about Tyler Perry, and it's one thing that Medea said, and it just rings true. The grass is greener on the other side, but the water bill is higher. Be careful what you wish for in these streets, because these streets are not nice. They are not playing fair these days.
I thought you were gonna say the 80-20 rule.
That too.
The other thing in Medea, that if you could get 80%, if you could get 80% out of 100 of what you want, stick with the 80%.
Right.
Because you end up leaving the 80% for 20, and because you think the 20 is going to be what completes the picture. And then you get with that 20 and you like, I had 80 over here.
Right.
And that's exactly what this is. You said, like, the man is just physically attractive. So you got everything else with this other person.
What's fearful is, and I think for even people who are people start planning weddings and think, well, I'm in it now. I've spent money, I've invited people, all of that stuff. And none of that should be the reason why you continue with a marriage if you're not ready to do it.
Right.
Why do people ask these questions? Like, you gonna have sex with this other man? You probably already did it, sis. Was it whack? I mean, that's what I want to know, because you already made up your mind. Talk about, should I? You know you shouldn't do it. Well, you don't have to ask someone whether or not you should do something.
It is. I need someone to co-sign something
to make me feel good about what I'm doing.
Like back to the, you remember the industrial wipes. We all agreed that was absolutely insane, but she just really
I didn't agree that was insane.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, 99% of us agreed that was insane, and really is, she's just looking for somebody to support her decision.
Ain't nobody co-signing that, sis.
No, just
let that good man with that good sex go, preferably down in North Carolina. I'm right down the street. And
you want to post your address in the chat?
I'll put it on my headline real quick. But no, like let that man go. You never said if he was attractive or not, and that really doesn't even matter. But if this new man is that attractive to you that you're willing to risk what you already have at 25, go for it.
I wonder if this is really just the sound of fear of getting married. Because if there's one way to end end the engagement is to sleep with somebody else. So instead of her being honest about her unwillingness to be married or getting married, she's going to use this tactic of, I'm attracted to somebody else.
I don't think that you see, that sounds like somebody who's really thinking, and judging from this question, this isn't a thinker. This isn't somebody who's really weighing, like her life decisions. It just sounds like she's like, well, I see him and he's hot and I want to hump him, so I will.
Right.
That's the kind of feeling that I get. Never have a honey where you make your money. Big mistake. Oh, was it her job? What was it, a coworker? I missed that part.
What was it? It might have been.
Oh, yes.
Even if it was, like, yeah, that's definitely a no-go.
But you know what, too? Some people
they make me feel about what I did, right?
Some people aren't satisfied unless they have some kind of drama going on. Like, this relationship is probably healthy. They probably don't argue. He's probably a really good man, and she feels like adding some spice to her life would be to have this little.
I mean, the reality is she could sleep with this guy. They could do it once. Her husband could never find out about it. Like, that is a real possibility, but she'll know. And what does that do to her and her psyche, with her married to her husband, knowing that now she was specific about saying, I want to do it before I get married, because like, we all should get a free, get out of jail free card before we get married. But she's still with this man. She's his fiance. They still have a relationship, so she still would be cheating on him. So I think that there's something going on with her.
Go ahead and do it, sis. Go ahead and do it. Let him do it too. Let your fiance go.
We had one of those questions before. It's like, you cheat on me and I cheat on you, we even. That's not in no way, shape, or form.
Not at all.
That's gonna fly, right?
But it's just,
and the other man will know, and she can't control his actions. You're absolutely right, Tracy, because he could show up at the wedding, at the rehearsal, at her job.
Show up to the wedding like Dwayne Wayne.
Right.
Please, baby, please.
Please, baby, please.
I do. You don't. You better don't.
I can't imagine how awful. I mean, I imagine how awful it would be if somebody said to me, I slept with your spouse, but I can't imagine a man saying to another man, last week I was at your house. That sounds
like something Blueface would say.
Krishan, is that you?
Oh Lord.
I know who that is. She can't control the other man. So, and it he may just want to do it because he knows that there's a lot of maybes. We could come up with 25 scenarios. The reality is if she wants to she wants to be intimate with other men, she should not be getting married.
Yeah, that's
in my humble opinion.
Right.
That's really it. All right, so we're kind of reaching the end. Do you guys think we have time for one more question? Every time I feel like we sneak a question in, we end up going way over.
We can talk fast. Okay. We'll do a speed round on the question.
Yeah. Speed round, let's go.
Dear Alma, about 6 months ago, my sister moved back to our hometown with her daughter, who's 10 years old. They don't live that far from me. It's walking distance. I recently noticed when my niece comes to visit me without her mom, after she leaves, a few of my things have been missing. Never any money, mainly jewelry. I've never seen her steal from me, but I know it has to be her. I'm hoping she isn't a kleptomaniac, and I'm not sure how to bring this up to my sister. I know she misses her dad, and since they've moved back, maybe she's doing this to get attention. How would you suggest that I handle this problem?
Wow. Okay. So she says that her sister and her niece just moved back to their hometown. They live walking distance from her, so the niece comes over to spend some time. But she's noticing that her things are missing, like not money, but jewelry, little things around the house. And she doesn't know for sure that it's her niece, but she has a pretty strong inclination. It's her niece.
She called her a kleptomaniac.
Well, she said she doesn't know if she's a kleptomaniac. She said she doesn't know if she's a kleptomaniac. So she said that she doesn't know if this is something that her niece is doing for attention, because I guess the sister left the husband, or that whatever's going on.
The police don't care.
The girl's 10 years old.
The police don't care.
The niece is 10 years old.
The police don't care if her daddy.
We about to put this girl on Scared Straight.
Right. She says she's not 100% sure, but she's like, who else could it be? Like, the things are always missing once she's gone. So
The old school would set her up. That's what I was thinking.
Now I would have a sit down with my niece first, be like, hey, I know you're going through some stuff, and some of my stuff is coming up missing. Have you been going through some stuff? Let the little girl admit or dig herself in her own grave, and then you get some cameras for your house in the meantime.
Now, this is the thing, and I guess I'm coming from this perspective because this actually happens. I was Denise, not that I stole. I didn't steal. Like, my aunt had $20 that she had on like a mantle or something, which I didn't even know. I didn't know she had $20 up there, and that was a while ago when $20 was, when you were a kid, that was a good amount of money.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And she asked me about it, and I was like, "What?" And she was like, I had the $20 up there and it's gone. And the thing about it was that I was babysitting for her. So she was going to pay me anyway. So I was just like.
You took that $20 in you, Courtney.
No.
Right. But you're going to pay me anyway, so I just helped myself.
No. But the thing about it was, this is someone I was close to, and it hurt because I felt like if I needed $20, I could have just asked you. You could have probably given it to me.
And I think that's the conversation I would have with my niece. Like, if you need something and you want something that I have, ask me for it, and I likely would give it to you. But I need you to not take stuff that don't belong to you. So, do you have my stuff?
Yeah, like I remember I was crying and everything. I guess for me, I would put a ring camera in there. I would have to know for sure that she took it personally, only because, like I said, I've been through it and I didn't take it. So I would have to know for sure before I had that conversation.
So you cameraing up your house for this niece that might be stealing your stuff.
Yeah.
Because if it's not your niece, then you can still figure out who it is. It could be you, and you just forgot where you put your own stuff.
Right.
Exactly. And if someone says, well, why do you have a ring camera? Oh, I could just say it's for her protection. She's in my house.
You have to ask. I mean, this ain't none of their business why you got cameras all over your house. I have a friend whose spouse was stealing stuff, but he was stealing to support a drug habit.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, the thing started becoming missing when she started coming around. She's a klepto.
Yeah.
If you ask me why I got cameras in my house, I need to be worried about you.
Yeah.
Can you even see them? Like, I said one time when you needed to just put your purse away when somebody had a friend that was coming to the house and they thought he was stealing stuff. And I was like, well, stop leaving valuable stuff out where he could get it. And they was like, why should I have to move my purse? Like, if he's going to show up, then
you don't want your stuff stolen. That's why.
But same with the little girl. I mean, you could either make her stop coming to your house, which is what I did, or you can monitor your valuable stuff when they're there.
Yep.
But you don't give them free reign of your house, and then
because that's the
wonder.
Is she going in your bedroom?
My niece just stopped coming to my house.
I don't know.
This is not my question, but I had a similar situation.
Yeah, but as the niece that got accused, and I didn't take the little
right, and I can see where that would be. I can see where that would be hurtful. That did you take my $20? No, and then like, you sure?
Yeah, because it's not up here. I put it up here, and it's gone. I don't know. Why don't you ask your child if they took the $20? Since I'm here babysitting, if you ask them, you think it's me. That's the whole thing. I don't know.
Yeah, being falsely accused is painful.
It is. And if it's a thing where you're just an absent-minded person and you thought you had your jewelry in one place and you didn't. But also, like you're saying,
but 3 or 4 times. She said every time she comes by, something goes missing.
I mean, every time I wear my glasses, I don't know where I put them. Never mind. That's just me because I just don't remember.
But they didn't leave your house. You eventually found them.
That is true.
Now, also, too, what kind of jewelry is this? Because, like, I have an aunt. We're very close in age, right? It's so funny. So she takes my stuff all the time, and sometimes, like, I'll take like a little body spray or something. Like, I was talking to her about this cashmere sweater I had, right? And I was like, man, I don't know what happened to that sweater. And she was like, I said it was like purple, had like little rhinestones on it. She's like, oh yeah, I have that sweater. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, I have it. I've had it for years. Like, is that I'm guessing this is not the type of relationship that you had. You know what I mean? Where like if you see something really cute that you would take, I don't know.
I wouldn't just take it out your closet. Like I have that kind of relationship with Alma with a number of people, but I wouldn't just take out. I would say, "Hey, I love this sweater. I'm taking it." And she probably would say, "Okay, go ahead, girl. I don't wear that anymore anyway." But I wouldn't. We have never had a situation where she said, "Oh, I'm looking for my so and so girl. I took that 6 months ago." No.
My aunt does that to me all the time. It'll be earrings, and I'm like, those earrings look like earrings I have. Oh, they're yours.
So would you call her a klepto?
No, because I do it to her too. But this isn't the aunt with the $20. This is a different aunt.
Oh, okay.
That's just
Patrice, do you have that kind of relationship with anybody?
No. I got nieces. I threaten them as soon as they step foot in my house. You better not take nothing of mine.
Don't touch nothing.
My eyes are on you.
You can touch it. You just can't take it home with you. And 6 months later,
I'm patting you down. I'm checking your bags and I'm patting you down as soon as you leave. But see, I say that to them. I would never do it, but I say it to them. But like they don't. They're not that.
They're not who they are, right? Yeah, they're not going to take this stuff.
And even if this kid is going through something, just talk to your niece. Yeah. Most kids they'll be honest enough to be like, "Hey, yeah, I did do it." And blah, blah, blah,
I'm
blah.
sorry, Aunt Courtney. I took your earrings because my mom won't let me wear hoops, and I really want to wear hoops. So here's your earrings.
I saw them, I liked them, and I took them, and I'm sorry. And if you don't get that from her, then again, get you some cameras to figure out what's going on with your stuff if it's that important to you.
Sharon said if she still, she'll probably lie too. I mean, yeah, that does typically go hand in hand. My thing is I would put a Ring camera in there. I would want to be sure that it was her stealing before I said anything.
That's and then your mom's like, "You set me up." Like Mary.
Well, it was kind of like that thing. If somebody's asking you a question, more than likely they already know the answer. They're just trying to figure out what you're going to say. So if you got the evidence, if you got the receipts and you're bringing it to the girl and her mother, then go for it.
Yeah. Be sure. That's me. Be sure.
Before you ask any questions.
Yeah. Okay. And we got the technology now. It's not like back in the day. She should go over to her sister's house and take something out of her niece's room and see if she said something.
I got your little Nintendo Switch.
You're like, my Aunt Courtney was over here, and now my PS5.
Yeah, exactly. Bring me my jewelry, and you could get your PS4 back.
Holding it hostage. That's funny, Doug. You have to.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well,
as you predicted, we went over, Courtney.
Yes, but we didn't do too bad. Too bad. So I do want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank, Miss D, you be here. But I also want to thank you for being here. I want to thank the panel for being here. Thank you thank you, Patrice, for being here just as well. And I had fun as I always do. If you guys have any questions, please send them to alwaysask.alma@gmail.com and we will give you our very good advice.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, and I hope everybody has a great holiday.
Be safe, y'all.
Just be careful on Good Friday. Not Good Friday. Black Friday. Which started 2 weeks ago. So
what?
Yeah.
That's a whole other question.
Right, exactly. All right, you guys. Thank you for watching.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye, guys.